Hey there hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds video after Title Update 3. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new skills on the Bale armor as well as the Omega Greatsword. I have some stuff planned for the Savage Omega armor set and weapons, but I need to finish farming them up first. So for today we're just going to be taking a look at the base Omega equipment. I spent a bunch of time in the training area last night testing out each one of these skills so that way I can give you guys the best information. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So up first, let's go ahead and talk about True Shadowbringer's unique skill called Darkside. So this skill lasts for 30 seconds upon activation when you do a level 2 or level 3 charge, and it gives you a bonus plus 22 attack after, again, doing a level 2 or level 3 charge, as well as reducing some of your HP to red HP. It has a 15-second cooldown after the 30 seconds are up, so you can roughly activate it every 45 seconds, 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, so on and so forth. Now the Bale Alpha armor set has a couple different things to it. It has, of course, the 2-piece set bonus called the Dark Arts, and then of course the 4-piece that allows us to use the Blackest Night. Let's go ahead and talk about the different caveats of the Dark Arts 2-piece set bonus. So this has two different things. One, having recoverable damage, also known as our red health, increases our elemental attack. In my testing, it was a flat 20% elemental increase when we have red HP, and by, again, using the Omega Greatsword, anytime we do a charged 2 or charged 3 attack, we will have red HP, so this is up pretty much all of the time. And then it says some Greatsword level 3 charge slashes are strengthened. Now, the strengthening is effectively a second hit, so sort of like the Corrupted Mantle, it's a small, beam slash that comes out when you do a level 3 charged attack. It works on Charge Slash, Strong Charge Slash, and True Charge Slash. It does not work on Charged Offset Rising Slash. Now, both the first and second hits, so your regular Greatsword attack and the beam that comes out with Dark Arts active, will actually proc Corrupted Mantle. So effectively, you get 4 hits per level 3 charged attack if you're wearing 2 pieces of the Bale Alpha armor and the Corrupted Mantle. In my testing on both the Charge Slash and Strong Charge Slash, the secondary beam did about 19 to 20% of the first hit's damage as the beam damage, and the True Charge Slash was about 14.5% of the initial hit's damage. That doesn't really matter all that much, but it is just interesting to know, and also the beam attack from Dark Arts can crit. Now with the 4-piece set bonus, we gain the ability to use the Blackest Night. By simply having on 4 pieces of this armor, the Blackest Night will automatically appear in your inventory. You can either use it directly from the inventory, or you can throw it onto your radial menu if you need to have a little quicker access to it. Basically, you get this big shield around you, and if you press your triangle button, you can attack directly out of it, or if you press your dodge button, then you can roll out of it. You'll get a lot of red HP initially when you use it, and if you let yourself get hit, you will unleash a counterattack. Now, I think it's damage based because sometimes when testing this against Ray Dow, it took a couple of hits to get it to activate, but it also activates instantly against the weakest of the training dummy attacks, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. But you'll unleash this massive counterattack and drop a ton of green HP for red HP, and then you will gain 32 seconds of lifesteal. I think it's 32 seconds. I timed it like 4 times just to make sure because it seems like an odd number. But for 32 seconds, give or take straight, you will have lifesteal. So for these 32 seconds, any attack you make, once it hits the monster, will regenerate some of your health. I'm not quite sure what percentage it is of the damage or exactly how much it works, but you get a decent amount back. Now, one thing to note is that if you are using the Omega Greatsword, you will still lose HP and it will become red HP if you do your level 2 or level 3 attacks while this lifesteal is active. However, it does seem to be enough health regen on the attacks that if they land, it will give you a little bit more health than you would lose from your level 2 or 3 charge. Now, unfortunately, the health steal isn't quite good enough to be considered like an unkillable tank build where you can just attack and have infinite HP. And the main reasons are, again, it only lasts 32 seconds, but it's actually a 75-second cooldown between uses of the Blackest Night, so the instant you use it on your radial menu or in your item bar, it goes on a 75-second cooldown. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump straight into the sets. So the first set is going to be using the 4 pieces of Bale Alpha armor along with the Numinous Crown Beta and the True Shadowbringer Omega Greatsword. And for the talisman, as you can see here, you just need burst level 1, any other skill level 1 and a level 3 slot from the RNG charms. You could also go just for the base Agitator 2 charm and swap out one of the Challenger jewels you're about to see for a burst jewel. There's really a lot of different ways to build this out depending on your luck with RNG talismans. For the decorations in the weapon, I went for a Focus / Handicraft and a Critical Jewel 2 and Critical Jewel 1 to give us 3 points of Focus, 3 points of Crit Boost, and a 2nd point of Handicraft, including my talisman. Greatsword doesn't really eat through sharpness as badly as some of the other weapons, so Master's Touch and Razor Sharp aren't a huge must-have. However, if you do prefer those, you can definitely swap the decorations around. However, I would definitely recommend keeping Focus level 3 on it. It's 15% faster charging speed. It's basically a must-have. And since the Darkside skill drains our health when we get to level 2 or level 3 charge, we want to use those a lot to keep us in the red HP, so the faster you can get to those level 2 and level 3 charges, the better. Now technically this can work with an Ardean Greatsword, however with this specific set I would recommend using the True Shadowbringer. Again, it's a new weapon, looks cool, but just besides that, we can also use it to activate some of the skills you're about to see on this set, simply by doing our level 2 and level 3 charged attacks. As far as the armor decorations go, on the head it'll be a Challenger, a Führer Jewel, and then of course the level 1 decoration is up to your choice. I'm choosing Shockproof because I like to play multiplayer with my friends a lot. Up to you, level 1 slots, whatever you want. In the chest we have a Führer Jewel, in the arms we have a Challenger Jewel, in the waist we also have a Challenger Jewel and a Mighty Jewel, as well as I opted for a Recovery Jewel, just so that way the red HP recovers a little bit faster, so that way I'm out of one-shot range as often as possible, but not so much recovery speed that I can't keep Resentment active. And then in the legs, you will need a Mighty Jewel, and in the talisman, slot in a Challenger Jewel. Again, if you go for a talisman that already has Agitator on it, you can change out 2 of these Challenger Jewels or 1 of these Challenger Jewels. Again, it's just dependent on your luck with the RNG talismans. So overall for skills, we have Crit Boost level 3, Focus level 3, Handicraft level 2, and Darkside level 1 on the weapon. For the armor, we have Resentment, Agitator, and Latent Power all at level 5. Now, Resentment is going to be great because, again, anytime you use the Blackest Night or you use a level 2 or level 3 charged attack with your Greatsword, you will have red HP. Resentment will be active. Latent Power is also awesome because the Blackest Night and your level 2 and level 3 attacks, deducting your health, does count towards Latent Power activation. So you can activate it much, much earlier into your fights, making it super strong. It's 50% additional crit and 30% stamina reduction. You just can't really pass this up. Greatsword basically has a completely free way of activating both Resentment and Latent Power at almost all times, which rules. We then of course have Maximum Might, 30% additional affinity when our stamina bar is full. So if we are able to activate Agitator, Latent Power, and Maximum Might with absolutely no care in the world where we hit, whether it's a weak spot or not, we will have 95% affinity on this set, which just rules. We also of course get the stamina reduction from Latent Power and Constitution, allowing us to keep our stamina full a little bit more often. Again, I went for Recovery Speed level 2. You could opt for Quick Sheath level 3 instead, but I just like to have that red health gain back a little bit faster, so again, I stay out of one-shot range. Quick Sheath is already at level 2. I didn't feel like going to level 3, but like I said, you were more than welcome to. Burst at level 1 for the additional element, and Raw as we continually attack the monster. And finally, Shock Absorber 1. Again, that's my choice. The level 1 decorations are completely up to your customization. For our set bonus, we of course get the Soul of the Dark Knight, which we already talked about, the Dark Arts, and Blackest Night. All in all, while this set is really good and hits really hard and has a lot of good skill activation time, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be the brand new meta for Greatsword, especially against 9-star tempered monsters or against Omega himself, just because those fights go on so long, and the fact that this whole set revolves around you constantly draining your own HP leaves you vulnerable to some of those harder hitting monsters. So again, use this with some caution. It is really, really fun, but you don't want to be that guy trying to out DPS everyone in the SOS lobby and carding 3 times because your health is constantly below 50%. If that is you, then this next set will be a great one for you. I've opted to go for 3 pieces of the AT Gamma armor and just 2 pieces of the Bale Alpha armor. As you can see, we have the Ray Sandmail and Sandbraces Gamma and the Duna Wildgreaves Gamma. And then my charm is Latent Power level 1 with a level 2 slot and a Master's Touch. All you need really is Latent Power level 1 and a level 2 slot. I'm sure by now you guys have farmed up a ton of charms, so you probably have one of these laying around somewhere. Now, of course, with this set, we don't get the option to use the Blackest Night counter, which, albeit very cool, is not entirely practical, like I said, for those higher tier monsters. Of course, we're still going to have the health drain from the true Shadowbringer overall, but we also still get the 2-piece Dark Arts, where we get the extra element, we get the super cool second hit with the beam from level 3 Greatsword charged attacks, as well as, of course, having 3 pieces of AT Gamma armor, giving us plus 5% attack, but it also comes with Guts, so if you're over 50% health and you get hit by something that would one-shot you, you won't die, you'll be left at 1 HP, it'll give you a chance to heal, and then you get a bunch of bonus defense. So it's a little bit safer, but you can still go for some pretty heavy damage. The decorations and the weapons remain exactly the same. Again, all the level 1 slots are completely up to you. I threw in just a bunch of random level 1 decorations, so you kind of can get some ideas off of that. But you will need 2 Furor Jewels, 2 Throttle Jewels, a Mighty Jewel, and a Chain Jewel. And then, of course, like I've said before, whatever you choose to put in your level 1 slots. All in all, for skills, we have Critical Boost level 3, Focus level 3, Handicraft, Darkside, and Master's Touch at level 1. Again, your mileage may vary depending on your talisman. We, of course, still have Resentment level 5 and Latent Power level 5 and Maximum Might level 3. Upped it to Quick Sheath 3 on this one with the Duna Wildgreaves. We get some Evade Extender, helpful for dodging away from some of the Omega Planetus large AoE attacks, of course. We then get 1 level of Agitator, Burst, and then whatever you decide to throw into your level 1 slots. Again, your mileage may vary. We then get Ray Douse Voltage, where with the 2-piece set for Thunderous Roar 1, Latent Power usually is only active for 2 minutes. This extends it to 2.5 minutes. And then, of course, we get all the benefits of the 2-piece of the Bale armor for the Dark Arts. All in all, this build is going to be a little bit weaker because we're dropping a ton of Agitator, but you're able to fit in having Guts so you can survive being one-shot, as well as a ton more level 1 decorations for things like Recovery Speed or Divine Blessing or Adapt. It's still going to be pretty strong, it just won't be as strong as the last set, but it should have a little bit more survivability. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed these great sword sets. If you did, feel free to drop a like down below. It's totally free, supports the channel, and subscribe for more sets. I'm finally getting through Omega Savage somewhat regularly now, so I just need to farm up a few more materials, and I will have some sets out for you guys on that later this week. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.